Okay, make sure this is all right. Yes, it is. It's working. Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Evil Ed 123 here yet again for another live stream. Now, this live stream is based on a post I made a few days ago, and well, actually, a video that I made also a little while ago, and I just wanted to do a stream talking about it. So I will wait for you guys, see who all gathers in. Hey, thanks for joining the stream. How you doing? All right, and there's a mosquito following me, so 1 second. All right. Alrighty. Yes, we are. How's it going, madame? Nice to see you. How you been? Who else is in the stream? Who else is joining us tonight? I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Today's stream, what we're talking about tonight is it rising? I'm not sure if he said hello yet. If it is rising, thanks for joining in. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But yeah, no, today's live stream is going to be talking about an idea that I had, and this other idea I had. I posted, a wall, or made a post of it here on my YouTube, here on my channel, and I made a little video talking about it. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do another video talking more about said idea and said question I gave to you guys. It all depends on the poll that I have set up on the channel at the moment. So, the question is, I just threw this out there just to see how many votes it would get. The idea of doing a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the idea of doing a sequel to one of the most popular, just do a sequel to, the story, because I had this rough idea of doing a story that would be a kind of, in the same vein of Willy Wonka, that would be, continuing the idea and continuing, the story and the imagination that the original one left off. Because in Roald Dahl's books, there is a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, which not a lot of people talk about the book sequel. You hear everybody talking about the other one and, of course, the movies, but never talking about the direct sequel, which I've sort of read the sequel. I haven't read all because I know it wasn't as popular or as, magnificent or as great as the first one was, as the first book. But I started playing around with this idea of doing a sequel, but having it be in my own style and, doing something different with the world of Wonka and, the factory that was created. I had this, idea to do a different spin on the story. I would like to hear your guys' ideas and your suggestions, what you would think, because I remember reading somewhere that they were talking about doing another Willy Wonka movie, but doing a prequel and having Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, to be Willy Wonka, or having, someone like Ryan Gosling. They were looking at different people to play Wonka in a prequel story. And I would like to hear, what your guys' thoughts on that are. But anywho, what's been going on with you? What's been going on with you, Madame? Any, you know, any crazy shenanigans? But yeah, no, it's nice for you guys to join in on the stream. We're also going to be talking about other stuff, other things while we're here. But yeah, I just wanted to do a stream asking you guys, these questions and these ideas that I've been having for a while, and yeah. Because I know the idea of doing a sequel to something as popular as Willy Wonka, it's a pretty tall order. It is. It's a tall order for something that's as beloved and as classic as that movie is. Which is why it's rarely touched on. Like, one of the things is, originally, after Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was released, there were plans to do the sequel to the book. There were plans to do the book sequel, Charlie and the Glass Elevator, which I believe was going to be called The Great Wonka Vader. I can't remember what it was, but there was talks about them doing a sequel, to the original movie, after the first one came out, but Roald Dahl didn't like what they changed with this story, like what they, changed with the movie, and he decided not to give them the rights to do the book sequel, so that idea became null and void, and I believe Tim Burton was considering, doing the book sequel for the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but that idea also got, basically, weighed down because I think the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory made 4 box office rankings. I'm not sure the whole deal behind that, like if there even was plans to do the other one. Hey, Bruno Gomes, or Bruno, I'll call you Bruno. Hey, Bruno, how you doing? Yeah, so welcome to the stream. I'm glad you can make it. Well, yeah, no, I'm just talking about ideas I had, kind of going through my head about, the post I made and the little video talking about a potential sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I did hear, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but this was a while back. Yeah, there might be. I'm not saying that there won't be. I'm saying the idea for the story that I have. Because if I want to make this a thing, the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, is owned by Warner Brothers. And Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, is owned by Roald Dahl's family. So there is all this legal stuff I have to go through in order if I want to make this an official thing. So my idea is to do a movie that is the unofficial, unauthorized sequel, meaning that it's kind of a thing, but it's not. So the idea is the last name Wonka is not going to be mentioned in the movie. Well, first off, I'm going to go more in depth on this in the video. So I'm writing the script. So far, the working title for the script is W, A Wonderful Journey. And the basic idea is, all mentions of Wonka or anything that's kind of related to Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory is taken out, but there's going to be small hints and nods pointing at, oh, this is a sequel, without having to directly confirm it's a sequel. So it's going to be very sneaky. So it's going to be like that kind of deal where it's like, best way to describe it, it's like the movie Split. For anybody who's seen Split, how Split is a sequel to Unbreakable, but you don't know it until the very end. That's the kind of idea, kind of vibe I'm going with this movie, with my story, that you don't know it's a sequel to Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory until it gets kind of to the end. But I'm writing the base story of it all, and it's going to be vastly different from, the original story and the original film. It is going to be a continuation of sorts, um, and there's going to be a lot, um, of familiar elements that were in the original movies. Like, there's going to be chocolate. That's definitely going to be playing a big key factor in the movie. Chocolate's going to be one of the big key elements. And also, one of the other elements that I loved is destiny and loyalty. Those are going to play big hand in hand into the story. But I would love to hear your idea of, if were to make a sequel to Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, what would your idea of the story would be? Like, what would you like to see happen? Because I know about that. I already know about, the blueberries thing. I know about what would you like to see as far as story-wise go? As far as, like, where would you like to see the story continue? And yeah, there's going to be a lot of key factors in this. Like, it's going to have my own style, my own unique style, and I myself am most likely not going to play a big key character in this film. I'm going to make that statement right now. I am not going to play a character in the movie, like a big, like part of the main ensemble, like part of the main group. The way the story's written is it's going to follow, four characters, with the fifth character being Willard. Willard's going to be a big part. He's like the big focal point. Maybe, possibly. I mean, if you have an idea for an origin for that, then, that would be pretty interesting to explore. Um, but that is an interesting idea to explore. Um, but the main focus of the story is there are four different characters. The fifth character being basically the very Oz-like archetype character. Like, he is basically the man behind the curtain, the one that you don't see too much. He's like the Moriarty. He's basically in placement of Willy Wonka. But there's W. There's Willard, which later is going to be revealed that he may or may not be Willy Wonka, but he might be another character from the original film. And the main four characters are on this journey to find this final goal. Like, it's like basically a point A to point B kind of deal. Like, it's very much like an adventure story, and there are going to be some characters that are going to meet their exits or their dismissals, I should say, until one character remains, much like in the original Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory story, how until by the end there's one character standing. So in a way, that's what this film is going to go through. That there's going to be a kind of journey aspect to it all. And I think I already I posted a post on there, and since I mentioned the whole idea of this film, is to be an unauthorized, unofficial sequel. That's the whole thing. Like, legally, I can't call it, Willy Wonka 2. I can't do that. So it's going to go under a different name, as you do. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to explore. I've already started writing the script. I wrote the script a little bit. And the basic story for it is hopefully one that I think is that you're going to like. And one of my favorite things to write, as far as as in this particular script, is there's a very timeless feel to it. So there's no real set like date or set, moment where it feels like, oh, this is in present day, or oh, this is in the past. It's very much, it's going to feel like it could have happened at any point in time. Hey, Rising, how's it going? Sorry, I had a bug on my shoulder. But yeah, no, it's nice to see you. How you been? I'm not sure if you saw the posts lately in the other video, but I'm doing good. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I made a couple posts and I made a video the other day talking about this. And it was something I posted about an idea to do a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I would really love to hear, your 2 cents on the idea. So, what do you think about the idea of doing a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Exactly, yeah. Like, the particular story that I'm writing, it's going to explore a different aspect of Willy Wonka. It's going to explore... It's going to feel very reminiscent to the first movie, but it's also going to... that's actually one of the big things that's going to be involved in this story, that there's going to be other, body transformations or alterations, whatever you want to call it. They're, like, the way the story is going to be written is, I'll give you the basic idea. Right. The basic idea for this particular script, or the story that I'm writing, is since Willy Wonka and, the story of Willy Wonka is owned by Warner Brothers Pictures, who own the rights to it, I don't want to get into any legal trouble by doing a sequel without their permission. So what I'm doing is I'm writing a story. Any mention of the last name Wonka is not going to be involved in the script, so Wonka's not mentioned. Or, anything that's kind of related to Willy Wonka, if that makes any sense. I mean, there are going to be nods and hints that maybe this is a sequel. Much like how in Unbreakable, you don't find out till the very end of the movie, oh, this is a sequel to... Or not Unbreakable, but, with Split. That you find out, oh, this is a sequel to, Unbreakable. At the very end. So there's going to be little hints and nods that, are going to give the audience the idea, wait, is this a sequel to Willy Wonka? Because I'm getting a Willy Wonka kind of feel. So that's how the story is being written right now. And the title for it... Yeah. Well, yeah, the vibe that I'm going with this particular story is, imagine, Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka elements mixed in with a little bit of Suspiria. So it's very surreal, like it's going to create this surreal universe. So it's basically Willy Wonka, Suspiria, but on top of that mixed in with a very Mad Max-ish kind of feel. So it's going to be, somewhat of a post-apocalyptic story. Or it's going to be very much like a very surreal type of journey story. So it's going to have a very Wonderland-esque kind of feel too. So it's like Alice in Wonderland, Willy Wonka mixed with Suspiria to create this bizarre, new kind of wondrous journey. And that's why, I decided to, in the working title for the script I'm writing, it's called W, A Wonderful Journey. So the basic story follows 4 characters trying to find Willard, who is this big character in the story. Evangelion, maybe a little bit of Evangelion, maybe a little bit of that. but it's going to have this very surreal kind of feel to it. So it's about these four characters trying to find Wilfred, or Willard, and it is a story about journey. It's an adventure type of story. It's a story about journey. It's a story about destiny, loyalty, and chocolate. Because food is also going to play a pretty big key part in the story. Um, but with these characters that go on this journey, is one by one they are going to end up having an exit. That something will happen where they'll leave, or there are going to be like a dismissal of some sort. So where there's only one person still remaining. And then the ending comes. I don't want to spoil what's going to happen at the end because I'm still writing the ending. I'm still writing the ending in my head of how I want it to go down and how I want the journey to end. But the whole idea is it's not so much about the ending of the story. It's more about the journey that you go on with these four. And also there are going to be a couple strange side characters, much like how Alice encounters a lot of interesting characters when she's going through Wonderland. Like she, meets like the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, the Cheshire Cat. Like she meets all these very strange, outlandish characters. So in a way, these four, the main four, the group of four, the main four end up going on this journey and finding these other very strange, surreal side type characters that are going to play a big part of the end. But mostly I want the audience to focus on the surrealness and just the journey. So it's going to have a very dreamlike feel. So it's not going to be a very linear storytelling. Yeah, you could say Wizard of Oz. Yeah, so it's also very Wizard of Oz too, because I would basically say the main inspiration for this particular script I'm writing is Willy Wonka, Wizard of Oz, and just the very surrealness of those movies, like of the very dreamlike quality that they have. That's what's going to happen. Oh, and this may disappoint some of you all. This may disappoint some, but I myself am not going to be playing, a part in this movie. Aside from being the writer and director and camera person, aside from doing all the behind-the-scenes stuff, like filming the movie, I am not going to play a role like as a character in the film. And if I do, it'll probably be like a little cameo. It'll probably be like one of the side characters if it does come to it where I have to play somebody. Like if I can't get enough actors, then I'll do like a side character. But as far as story-wise, I feel like, no, I want to be behind the scenes on this one. I want this one to be, me just focus on being behind the camera and creating this world. Yeah, I know, it's going to sting a little, but, like I said, that may or may not, depending on what happens, maybe, it'll change, it'll change where I do end up being, playing a role in this story. But I don't want to play the main lead, because the main lead is a very strong character. Like, the journey you go on, with this character is very strong, and you're by this character from beginning to end. That, you're like, yes, I want to, aspire to be like that. And, I'm not necessarily the leading, the leading guy. I'm not the leading guy in these stories. I used to write that the characters might have been like me, but then I realized, no, I don't want to be the leading guy. So if I do write, a story, I'm going to be playing more the spectator. I'm going to be more of, one of the side characters who is on this journey as well with the audience. So, yeah, that might sting a little for you guys, but yeah, I'm not going to have like a main part in the story. And to answer, some of your all's questions and, what you guys have been suggesting, since I first proposed this idea, is there going to be a male blueberry inflation? Hey, you made it! Hey, how's it going? So, here I am to answer that question. There is going to be an inflation scene. It's either going, but here's the thing. There's not just going to be one, there's going to be two. So there'll be two. However, I am not going to say whether or not, it's going to be male, female, or, whatever. I'm not going to, give that away. There is going to be two expansion scenes, as I like to call them, in the story. And there's also going to be a little bit of something else involved where the character goes through a pretty drastic change. And you think, well, inflation's a pretty big deal. Yeah, it is. Very deliberate. Yeah, it is. But the other change is actually going to really affect this character. That this character is like the right-hand person to the main lead. And when this character goes through this change, there's going to be like this whole questioning deal of, should I continue on this journey, because what's going to happen to me afterwards, because I don't know, but I'm doing this for them, because this is the person who I truly love and care about, and I'm going to stand by their side. So it's going to play a little bit on that when it happens to that particular character. There's going to be this whole kind of deal where it's going to answer that question. Does loyalty really mean that much? And one of the other big questions I'd love to kind of pick, to poke my brain out a little bit, or pick the audience's brain out a little bit, is the idea of destiny. Like, is destiny a good thing? Like, is predetermined fate a good thing? Or, are we better, creating our own destiny, creating our own future? And it's going to play a lot on that, too. So, so the title of the movie, and Tetch, thank you for joining. I'm not sure if you saw the other post before, but I'm talking about doing an idea for a in-spirit sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, like your opinion on Destiny, or anybody else's opinion on Destiny. Like, it's just basically going to answer this idea. Yes, I do. And you know what I'm going to have to do at this moment? Because I don't want the phone to get water damaged. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit, so I am going to move you guys to the table. And we'll continue this talk. No, you have no idea, brother. Alright, so let me set you guys down here for a second. It's dark. There we go. The monster. Very funny. Alright, let me just... Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no peeking. There we go. Yeah, okay, perfect. Now you guys can see me. I'm back. So, while we're still here, let's continue our talk. So, what are you guys' ideas and thoughts on, my idea for a sequel to, to the official, unofficial sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? I'd like to hear what you all think. Let's see, somebody else joined in. Hey, how's it going? I have a few ideas for movie projects. I'm not sure the exact order, because actually, believe it or not, I mentioned this before about me doing a sequel to, you know, to a Halloween Curse of Michael Myers to Halloween 6. And the good news about that is the script is finally done. After, poking through a little bit, I finished the first draft, then I did some retooling here and there. So I finally have the full draft of the script. I have, the completed script for. Oh no, no, that's okay. That's okay. It's fine. But yeah, yeah. So the Halloween script is done. I guess I could tell you a little bit about that since I have you guys here. The script I wrote, it's called Halloween Last Bloodline, and it picks up after the events of Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. It picks up after the events of that movie, and it's about the grandson of Dr. Sam Loomis, finding out that, Michael's back as always, and he's actually tracked down the last of, the Myers family, which the last of his bloodline is his nephew, Stephen Myers. Now, that's not me inserting my own name into, this movie, just because, like, oh, you're inserting your own. No, no. That was a name that was given to the baby at the, in Halloween Curse of Michael Myers. When Paul Rudd's character finds the baby, he's taking care of it, goes, oh, hey, don't worry, you're going to be just fine. And, he has to think of a name. He's like, Stephen. Yeah, you like that? Yeah, I think it suits you well. So, it's about, the script takes place with a now grown-up, Stephen Myers, who's changed his name, who's now the target of Michael's rampage. But also in this script, as you later find out, there's going to be some things that change the lore of Halloween. So there's going to be this deal where basically I wanted to do an idea of Michael not being just chained to, attacking his family. All right. Catch you later, man. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to do a live stream some other time. So, yeah, no, you take it easy, okay? But the idea is it's going to be about, and it's going to, the old idea of what makes the Halloween movies scary is relying on suspense and not massive amount of gore and violence. So it's going back to the suspense feel, it's going to the atmosphere, and with this particular story that I wrote, it's going to have an ending, but it's going to be one of those endings that does leave a door open for a sequel, which I've already started writing. So keep that in mind with this project, because since I got the script done and I really am wanting to do this one into a reality, this one might actually come first before the Willy Wonka idea. I'll still write the Wonka script. I have other scripts and other ideas I've been writing, for years that I have yet to have even become a video or become, a thing that I still have. It's still good to have those so you can go back, tweak them, and maybe try to make something out of them. But with this particular script, I love the way I wrote it. I love the way it came out, and hopefully it will be in production soon. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. It's called Halloween Last Bloodline. In fact, I'm actually going to end the stream here talking about the Wonka. Thanks. Here's the thing, guys. I'm actually going to end the stream here talking about the Wonka, deal, and move over to talking about, the Halloween one. So I'll be back, okay?